Hey there, beautiful souls. Whether you're single or in a relationship, this intuitive love tarot reading was meant to find you. If you're new here, welcome to Universal Wisdom Tarot. And if you're returning, thank you so much for being here again. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for ongoing spiritual guidance. If you've been searching for answers, clarity, or confirmation, this reading may hold the message you've been waiting for. Ready to see what's unfolding? Let's dive in. Hey there, Aries. This is your general love intuitive reading, and it's for mid-August. I've already asked for blessings for the reading, so let's dive in, see what the cards have to reveal. All right, Aries, let's see what you got here. Interesting. Okay. Aries, current general energies, or the current general energy. Okay, let's see. Let's start again. You have in your current general energy the projection card. It is clarified by the Lovers and by the Six of Wands. So that, for me, feels very highly emotional. But at the same time, it's kind of reflective, all right? When we have the projection card, it is a card of saying that either someone is not seeing the real you or you are not seeing the real you. You are being something or wanting to be something, and or in as the card says, sometimes we're unwilling to do the work. I don't feel so much that you're unwilling to do the work, but maybe you are just being seen as you want to be seen, or somebody is seeing you as they would like to see you. You are projecting something. So it feels like it is highly emotional because of the fact that perhaps you want somebody to see the real you, or you want the real you to be seen in a relationship. Now, if you're not in a relationship, maybe it's that you want someone to see you for how wonderful that you are, Aries, and the wonderful you that you are. And when we get the projection card, it is a suggestion that sometimes we put fear, or we place our own fears on ourselves, our own desires, our own insecurities come out because we may have to be something else, or we have to portray something else that we don't necessarily want to portray. But certainly that there's an expectation in a relationship. Okay. Instead of the relationship being fully secure and fully transparent. That's what I want to say. Okay. So, I guess the real question is, I would be asking myself, is, if this was me in a relationship, is I'd be saying, is this real? Okay. Is this real? Because do they truly see me for who I am and for what I offer? And, you know, you would, for you, you can ask yourself that same question because you have the Lover's card here. And the Lover's card is a card of saying, you know, you want to be committed. You have made a choice. You have made a choice either to be in the relationship that you are in and to take it wherever it is intended to go, or if you are not in a relationship and you're single and you're looking for love, you are willing to commit and ready to commit to something. Okay. A strong attraction might be there for you with somebody. The same for if you are in a relationship already, in a connection already. But that card is confirming that with this strong attraction, you're ready to commit to something. You made a choice because the Lover's card was a card of choice. So I feel also, because it is the Lover's card, that there is chemistry and real emotions there, and there's real significance in this potential relationship or the current relationship if you are in one. All right. The problem is that projection. Are you really being really you? Do they really see the real you? You hope so, because if you are committing to that relationship, you don't want them to say, well, you're not being the real you, and you're saying, well, yes, I am. You haven't been seeing me all this time, and then you wake up one day and you realize they don't appreciate you for who and what you really are. Okay. So, um, you know, you have the Six of Wands here. And the Six of Wands for me right now, I'm getting this vibe of pride. Yes, it's a card of recognition as well, but it's an energy of pride because you want to be validated. As I said, you are a wonderful person. You are deserving of love. You are deserving of a wonderful relationship, a long-term great relationship, and you want validation energy. Okay. And it is possible that you're not getting that validation because of the whole projection thing. Now, if you are the one that is just projecting this thing, it's not someone who isn't seeing you for who you are, but you are maybe perhaps trying to be something that you aren't, just because sometimes we do that when we're in a relationship, especially when it's, when we're younger and we tend to, we want to be all we can be for that person, but it may not be the real you. If that is your situation, because everyone's situation is different, I'm going to say it's like you, maybe we do this because we need some reassurances that, we want to be in a relationship and we want to assure that somebody is going to stay with us. Okay. So, bear that in mind. That could be your situation as well. Okay. I do feel someone strongly out there desires some attention, some reassurance, or has the need to feel chosen. All right. And if that's the case, there's also, I would say, a little bit of ego that is influencing something here. Um, yeah, and I'm going to say that's influencing some emotional reactions or emotional actions or emotional projection more than maybe you realize it or the other person realizes it. Okay. So, some definitely interesting energy there, but I also feel it's like a bit of a pattern. Okay. I'm feeling a very strong pattern. And not only do I feel this pattern here in this projection that's happening, but I feel it in the codependence, which is this resistance position. Okay. Now, we'll get to that in a second. I just want to kind of close out on the first set of cards here. So I'm just going to say that this feels like a relationship where, yes, feelings are real, but I feel like there's a bit of perception that has been distorted, and that may have been distorted by emotional expectations or perhaps some personal wounds. Okay. I feel like both people uh, need to have, or let's say you need to sort of separate fantasy from reality in order to truly understand one another. Okay. If you have to project someone who you are not, then that is just a sign that that is probably not the right relationship for you. And if you are being the real you and somebody wants you to project something that you are not, again, that is probably not the best relationship to be in. If you are single and you are looking for somebody and you say to yourself, in order for me to have a relationship with that person, I will have to be somebody else, I would say that's not a good relationship to jump in. And similarly, if you are single and you see somebody, but you have rose colored glasses on and are not seeing that person for who you are, for who they are, I would say, again, probably not the best relationship to jump into. Okay. So just want us to be clear about the fact that there's something going on here that perhaps isn't totally real. Not to say your feelings aren't real, because your feelings are real, but there is some kind of veil over top here or fantasy, because there is a desire to truly have love and be loved, but yet you want to be seen, or they want to be seen, or both of you want to be seen in a real light and need to be seen in a real light. So, you know, as I said, is it real? Is it truly real? Is something here real, right? Not that your feelings aren't real, but is this a real relationship that can go forward? And the other thing is, as I said, I was feeling a pattern here, and I feel it very strongly sort of coming out of this into this codependence, right? You know, codependence is saying you can't live without feeling, or you can't live without the other person. I mean, that image is quite clear. There's hands there that are bound together by chains, and it's like I feel like either you know relationships need to be balanced. Okay. So when we get into this codependence, it's clarified by the Eight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. And it's interesting what the image is on the Six of Pentacles. I'm going to get to that in a second. But that image right there of codependence is extremely, extremely important. If that were a tarot card, because this is an oracle card called codependence, but if it was if it was a tarot card, it would be the devil, right? The devil is about attachment. This is a card of saying you are attached to this relationship, or you are attached to the feelings of this relationship, or you are attached to what you get from this relationship, or you're attached to certain patterns if you're single and get attracted to the same people over and over and over again, which may not be the best people for you or the best relationships for you. But I feel like very much the challenge here is to rectify the imbalance. Okay, because clearly there's an imbalance here. All right. For some of you, there's difficulty of walking away from an unhealthy dynamic. Okay. Codependence suggests one or both people are relying heavily on the connection itself, or on the security of what the connection brings, or a validation of each other that you gain through this relationship, or feeling that you can only be stable with this person. And I feel like some people need to walk away, or some people have tried to walk away. So I'm almost going to say, for some of you, not only is this real, are you in a loop? Have you been repeating this with this person back and forth, on again, off again, potentially? Okay. Eight of Cups, though, sometimes too is a card of withdrawal emotionally. So it could be that, because maybe of the projection here and the realization of the projection, you may have this withdrawal because you say, oh, well, they're not really seeing the real me. So you are withdrawing from the feelings and the interactions of the relationship. But it's also a card of just say leaving something that's unsatisfying, something that's not emotionally satisfying. And that's going to be the challenge for you is, do you leave? Will you leave? Can you leave? Do you want to leave? Right? Um, and yet I still feel that this connection remains very much energetically alive, okay, because of the outcome, and also because of the Six of Pentacles. And I said we would get back to the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles is about giving and receiving, right? And that, again, something needs to be balanced. So there isn't a balance there. One first person tends to give more than the other. And this image is very, very particular in this deck, okay? This image is this person holding on to the grave of the lost love, so to speak, and thinking that, I'm going to be here for eternity. I'm going to be here for eternity. I'm waiting for eternity. Okay. All right. So, sometimes the imagery is sort of, it's amazing how spot on it can be when the universe gives us cards and messages. And in this particular case, I do feel like, something necessarily isn't reciprocated as much. You're hanging on here sort of for dear life with that codependence, and the eight saying maybe it's time to think about sort of walking away from that. Okay. This won't be reading for everybody. Bear that in mind, right? These are intuitive general readings. So just to say that, if this is not your reading, maybe the next one will be yours. But just, this feels very specific for some people out there who need to hear this. Okay. This could also be an inconsistent effort that's being put in, right, to the relationship. So your block is really learning about emotional independence, all right, or a healthier, balanced relationship. It's about learning that love can't really thrive long term when one person is, either consistently depleted of the emotions or the responsibility of, carrying the relationship forward. All right. Let's get into the outcome. I see restraint, clarified by the Six of Swords and by the Seven of Pentacles. So your outcome energy, although it's calmer, it's a calmer energy, it's more slower energy, a more reflective energy, because that's where I was feeling the reflective. You're kind of sailing along a little bit smoothly, but this is also a card of caution, the Six of Swords, saying you're not out of the boat yet, right? And so when you're in this boat and you're in this moonlight, you don't know what treacherous waters might be ahead, right? Or what dangers might be ahead. So hence the reason why we paddle slowly in the dark, We're not going at breakneck speed because we might hit something. Okay. So this is where I feel that sense of slow, that sense of being reflective, that sense of saying, it's still being cautious about this. The restraint card is saying caution. Okay. Right. It's saying, holding off a little bit on something, taking things a little bit slower. All right. So, yeah, you have this restraint, which is suggesting a little bit of more control, a little bit more patience, or perhaps stepping back from the impulsive reactions. Okay. So, yeah, you could be waking up to the fact that, and I might just be in a loop here. I might just be in this recurring pattern of this relationship, maybe with the same person. Or if you are single, maybe you see somebody potential as the next potential relationship. And then you start to recognize, well, maybe they're the same as the past relationship. Okay. So a pattern there, perhaps, of always, sort of picking the same people. Let's put it that way. Okay. Um, So you want to, kind of rectify or understand the imbalance that's there, and move a little bit more slowly. Okay, so you're moving more slowly, and really trying to see the reality of something here. As I said, is it real? Is the question. But also getting some distance, okay, from a certain perspective, or simply just having some calmer communication. All right. Yeah, doing some reflecting, evaluating with that seven, and understanding whether this connection is worthy to continue investing in it. All right. So Aries, overall, I'm going to say this is an interesting one. This is an interesting read. I would say either one or both of you is assessing this relationship, looking at it maybe from a more mature perspective. That's a good thing. There are definitely some intense, I would say, emotions here. But I feel like there's space that's required for some reflection, some healing, maybe deciding if this will go further and forward before you sort of take any future decisions on taking it to the next level. All right, my friends. Interesting read, interesting messages there this time around. I'll leave it there. I don't know who that's going to resonate for and who it doesn't, but remember, just take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel out, and I'm truly appreciative of your support of this channel. I can't do this without you, and this channel isn't possible without any of you. And I'll see you again very soon, my friends. Until then, I am wishing you, as always, divine light and love.